Lose weight in a way like you want to live life. Free, yet in control. Welcome to episode 61. Hi, I'm Clarinda, and you are listening to the Feel Light Mind and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. Are you tired of feeling frustrated with what you put in your mouth? I hear so often and have said to myself, I'm so tired of knowing better and wanting to change, yet I end up caving around my favorite foods. Well, let me say, I bet most of these patterns aren't your fault. So let's talk a bit more about this. Think of your last new start. Now, if you're listening to this when it airs on January 9th, and you did decide to make some New Year changes, you're probably only a week in and may still be going on that New Year energy, or the fuel of looking at what you don't want anymore, and that's a whole other subject. Or you might not have made any new intentions as you're tired of getting your hopes up only to feel disappointed in a few weeks, or as some have said to me, beyond disgusted and frustrated with myself. Regardless, I invite you to continue listening and make every attempt to hear this through fresh ears. One of our biggest saboteurs is past diet rules, the rules that are so idealistic and not realistic. The do's and don'ts that we can only white knuckle for so long if we don't also receive a strong mindset foundation. Not simply mantras or quotes that give a quick boost of motivation. They're great, but usually they don't hold when faced with an unexpected obstacle. Add an emotional component to that obstacle, and without having the tools and tactics to process it, and well, food or drink are what we naturally default to, convincing ourselves that we'll start again tomorrow or on Monday. Guidelines are useful, but they need to be realistic and work with our minds and bodies, not against them. Let's take food as an example. When we suddenly restrict what we've been eating for months or years, we're triggering the body's innate survival response. Whenever it senses a scarcity of something it's been used to having, it will do whatever it can to get more of it. Hence, you experience urges, not just in your mind, but physiologically, to eat more as well. The biggest problem that I see with my clients is once they get a taste of it, then consciously or subconsciously, there's a thought that I better eat all that I can for one more time, then I'll be good, putting in quotes. Can you relate to the thought, I might as well just get this out of my system, then I won't have it again? Let me finish off this bag so it can't tempt me. Well, guess what? That can be prevented, and when we eliminate the scenario, you can feel in control and experience freedom around all food. Like it or not, food is an integral part of our life and socialization. Ever since the beginning of time, we've gathered around a table of sorts and connected with food being part of the feast, conversation, celebration, and even gatherings of grief like a post-funeral reception. I do encourage my Feel Light Mind and Body members to make their lives more fun and exciting than food, but we can also find food enjoyable, fun, and interesting. That's part of the joy in life. It's being able to keep things in a healthy balance that creates freedom and confidence around your eating habits, along with following a doable plan for the day. I'm sure over the holidays you wanted and enjoyed some traditional foods that evoked beautiful memories of past years. One of the things I enjoyed was a warm apple cider. It evokes memories of our traditional Christmas Eve drink. Mom would leave it simmering in the crock pot while we went to the candlelight service. Afterward, it was comforting to come in from the cold and smell the cinnamon and nutmeg and then sip it by the sparkling tree. This year, because I didn't label it as good or bad, I didn't feel guilt for enjoying it, even though I knew it had more sugar than I would normally have, especially in a liquid. but I was okay with it, and 1 mug was sufficient. If I thought I could never have it again, I would have drank more, most likely. But the truth is, I can buy fresh apple cider at any of our local stores or the Saturday market if I choose to. But I won't, as I don't want that liquid sugar in my body regularly. I know that. But there's freedom in knowing I could, and that if I choose to wait until next Christmas, that's also okay. This calms the brain down, similar to the effect a calming, loving, reassuring response has on a child. One of the most freeing byproducts of my Feel Light, Mind, and Body program is being able to be free of guilt. Often the guilt is what's behind the scenes and driving you to do more of what you really don't want to do more of. In fact, what you're feeling guilty for doing now. That's a bit ironic, isn't it? You might want to hit that 15-minute second back button and listen to that again. But very, very common, so know that you aren't alone. That's one of the things I help you unwind in a supportive and non-judgmental way. It's hard to put into words, but when you experience the release of the old way of thinking, you'll feel it immediately in such a beautiful and empowering way. Over the holidays, I did choose wisely, but I also had planned to eat some foods that are only occasional eats. Without this simple, intentional plan, I would have been thinking, I shouldn't be eating this. This is bad. Those thoughts most likely would have led to more and more eating off of my simple plan and less of what I really want to fuel my body with. At least that's how it has played out in the past years before I broke free from the restrictive diet mentality. So as you consider another attempt of letting go of the extra heaviness that you know isn't helping your health, please remember the mind-body connection. If you decide to do it the way you've tried before and maybe had temporary success, then your body will sense that you're about to revert to your strict way of thinking. It will sense that you won't be allowed this pleasure, so it'll prompt you to get all that you can right now. It'll urge you to eat as many chocolates as you can because it senses that you're about to throw them out, and who knows when they'll be in your house again. You'll then think, I'll start again tomorrow, so I'm going to eat all I want tonight. It's one of the reasons why I also don't like a set cheat day where anything and everything goes all in one day. That day can become a trigger and add in thousands of calories and unhealthy fat and sodium. Instead, I teach that we can add an exception food or meal to our daily or weekly plan. You get to decide. I teach you how to do so in a way that feels kind and loving for what you want and need. You don't have to rebel against me or the plan when it's you making the decision. For most people, cutting everything out all at once won't last. But gradually changing your habits with an effective mindset change is what will leave you experiencing freedom around food in all situations. I eat food that I love. Sometimes that love is for the sheer pleasure of the taste. And other times, eating food I love is because of what I know it's doing for my health. There's room for both if you want to lose weight in a way that you can maintain for life. As you go along, there may be food that you never want to put in your body again. I have a few on my list, and it doesn't feel restrictive. It feels very caring and loving for my body. When the urge pops up to have it again, because my brain knows it tastes good, one of the thoughts I use and offer my clients is, I've already had enough of this to last a lifetime. I'm good. No, thank you. Developing a healthy relationship with all kinds of food is one of the best things you can do for yourself and your health. Imagine not having that draggy feeling after a day or weekend of eating non-nutritional food or even too much nutritional food. We've all done it, but we don't have to continue doing so. There's a better way to enjoy the food you love, which includes dining out with the people that you enjoy connecting with. You don't have to feel like you've lost all control once you take that first decadent bite. You'll be pleasantly surprised if you decide to reset your hunger hormones at how you'll respond to what usually sets you off. Of course, it's not just the dopamine response. There are more contributing factors. I love that you're listening to this podcast as a positive step forward. I appreciate the feedback that this is making a difference in your day and life, but the deep, lasting work comes from us working together on your specifics and being surrounded by other women who feel similar to you. It's not that you want other people to fail, But my goodness, when you realize it's not just you and that you're not a lost cause, that provides a certain amount of relief and self-compassion. We're not the only ones who don't follow through. When my members hear someone else being coached on this, they often have a realization of what's been going on in the background of their mind, yet they weren't fully aware of it. These ahas and shifts in mindset may happen in a moment or gradually over the 3 months or so. In this podcast time frame, I can only give you a little taste of the transformative power of coaching on your mind and health. But in a private or group session, we can use specific examples and see what's the root cause instead of just adding on another restriction for you to white knuckle it in order to succeed. There are so many benefits to seeing and hearing for yourself how normal it is to not be perfect. We don't just say, "Oh, it's too hard," or "That's just the way it is for me." We practice a new way of thinking and being until it becomes our new default mode. Again, that takes time, practice, and an outside perspective, because if we had connected all the dots, we wouldn't have our current pain point. When you begin to see why you respond the way you do, witness others having breakthroughs, and see the similarities in your experience, you can relax knowing it's normal and changeable. It's normal, yet you can create a new normal that feels better, especially in the long run. Your health and energy will improve, and when you feel better, you can show up for others in a more powerful and supportive manner. You can live your life fully with newfound vitality. You'll discover the stories you've been telling yourself that have been holding you back from experiencing freedom around food. You'll be able to separate that old diet mentality. Learning how to be more patient and understanding with yourself and understanding how your brain works gives you the ability to know how to calm your brain down and work with it instead of working against your body. I keep all the brain science very simple, yet effective and empowering. You can then start implementing while feeling equipped and supportive. The private Feel Light, Mind, and Body group is our safe and soft place to land, but it's not a place for us to wallow or whine. We state our struggles and then gain clarity with curiosity as we dive into the material and use the tools and tactics from a place of empowerment. Trust me, that feels so much better than staying in the complaining stage of why it's too hard or swirling in, "What's wrong with me?" You'll learn how to answer your questions and redirect your mind. Doing so will start to lift the heaviness within the first week. One client said she knew she had made the right decision when she felt a shift after the very first video training. How fun is that? Now, another lady, whom you'll hear about if you join in this week's free session, shared that she was skeptical for the first 2 weeks and then started to play and see results that she was so pleased with. Sometimes it's just a simple tweak in what you're thinking or doing that will move you forward 2 steps instead of falling back 1 step or more. We don't just recycle the old diet rules. If you have a lot of experience with dieting, you'll love this somewhat irreverent approach to weight loss. I find it delightful, and my clients find it such a refreshing change that they get to enjoy the process of getting to the root cause of what's been holding them back. Today, Tuesday, and then again Thursday, are the last 2 free sessions open for you to join in anonymously so that you can feel comfortable commenting or asking anything. We'll debunk the 3 myths keeping you from feeling light, holding you back from losing the extra weight weighing you down, physically, emotionally, and mentally. You'll also learn the number 1 best strategy that will improve your relationships while reaching your goal. An amazing byproduct to enjoy. Don't miss out. You have to register to claim your seat, and when you click on the links, you can choose the day and time that works best for you and your time zone. If neither works, I encourage you to still sign up, as there will be a replay sent out to all who register. If you're listening to this later, you can still check the link, as it should redirect you to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body page where you can join us for the 3-month program. I have women signed up and are anticipating the small wins that will lead to the big wins. They will reach their goals easier and faster, as one of my superpowers is getting you out of your funk ASAP. Life is too short to go in circles or feel sorry for yourself. So let's do this. Check out the link in the description. Now, we'll all have bad days, but the good days will start to become more and more frequent. And the not so good days will just be a little hiccup. I won't let you make it into a mountain. Deal? Having consistent support keeps you consistent. Time is ticking, but you still have time to take advantage of what I've created after years of experiencing and getting clear on what was missing from the majority of diet plans. Imagine what you can accomplish before your next vacation or the summer season when we're not bundled up in sweaters and blankets. I'll end with 3 points that recap and add to what we've discussed so far. Number 1, when you deprive yourself or follow strict rules, there's an innate physiological and psychological response that if you're not aware of how to deal with it, it's a matter of time before you self-sabotage and the vicious cycle continues. 2, losing weight the feel light, mind, and body way doesn't leave you feeling mentally tired at the end of the day from white-knuckling it. We love going to bed with a calm and lighter mind and body. And 3, you pretty much know what to do, right? You've probably experimented with a lot of options. Well, we'll simplify that, and I'll help you reset your hunger hormones so everything else feels easier and is faster. I'll also help you clean up your mindset so that your effort will stick and the results that you are proud of will last. You're so worth it. I can't wait to help you reach your goals, whether that's losing triple numbers or the last 10 pounds. The ultimate goal is to feel light, mind, and body. I hope you'll join me for the free session where you'll leave with a spark of hope and possibility, and then we'll bring it to fruition. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.